Hello, folks. I hope your universe is doing well. Uh, Back here again, more like on a marathon of these seven aspects, trying to at least get the introduction of every aspect down. And, on a Sunday afternoon, the seven aspects of being the vehicle that helps us to minimize distractions, help us to reduce stoppages or slowdowns when we're out there pursuing our purposes, trying to fulfill our purposes, out there trying to achieve our goals and chasing our dreams. The vehicle that needs to get worked on so that when everything is working in good condition, the we get not a whole lot of we get less resistance. It doesn't mean that life gets easier. It just means we just gather more information, we understand the information, we become tougher because we apply that information and become wiser. The mountains, the obstacles might remain the same, or they might still be as rough as they last were before you were able to overcome them. You just grow and become stronger. There's a very smart person that I listen to. Like I said, I listen to a lot. I'm very good at listening to a lot of to smart people. So there's one smart person that said that life is an uphill battle. So that means that once you pass a certain test, once you pass a certain level of life, then the next level of life that you're going to go into has new giants. It has new challenges. Just like, you go from first grade to second grade to third, all the way up. You finish your high school, you finish your college, and once you're done with college, you get into the next level of challenges in life. So that means that you just have to be continuously gathering information, understanding the information, and filling yourself up with wisdom so that these challenges help you to grow. You see, when soldiers are out there being trained, how to be soldier, especially when they're in like the boot camp, what happens is that the boot camp is sometimes tougher than the war zone, that they're being trained to do. So they toughen them up at the boot camp so that when they do go to war, of course, nothing is worse than, war is a terrible thing, but they do toughen them up to where if they do go, then at least they're not surprised by a lot of things. Of course, they can't totally eliminate the surprise or the shock that they might experience at the while they're at war, but at least it reduces to a large percent of the expectations. They know how to use guns, they know how to deal with it, so that when the situation does arise, they are not caught by surprise. So even if you end up conquering situations because you've gathered knowledge and understood the knowledge, acquired information, become wise, the situation, the challenges will still pop up. It's only that this time they're not going to be as major as they were when you didn't know what to do about it. So that's what the seven aspects are about. It really working on yourself so you can be the best version of yourself you can in every aspect, so that way you're not missing on working. Some aspects of yours are not being ignored. That's why the seven aspects kind of emerged as I was seeking knowledge and information so that I could that way you don't end up ignoring some areas of your life, because if you do and there's something missing or they're not as fed as they should, then what happens is that it's a domino effect. You could end up becoming very wealthy in that financial aspect, making a lot of money, but still miserable, still feeling unsatisfied, because maybe your spirit is not fed, because maybe your soul is hungry for what it needs, or maybe you're not in good health condition. So just feeding one aspect is not enough. You gotta feed all seven, and that's why this channel exists. There are many other channels that do call themselves seven aspects, but when I searched, I didn't see one that talks about the particular seven aspect I'm talking about. So this one is about the last one. I've already talked about a spiritual aspect, soul aspect, the physical body aspect, the financial aspect, social aspect, and now the sixth one is a renewal. So what renewal is pretty much self-explanatory. It's learning how you can figure out how you can always run at a maximum capacity. What another smart person, I'm always going to be saying that because I'm very good at following people who are smarter than me, more intelligent than me, more wiser than me. They said that you should always walk around, don't work with a blunt saw or a blunt axe if you're going to cut down a tree, or split a piece of wood, or if you're trying to saw down a piece of timber. You need to sharpen the saw, you need to sharpen the axe, because when you do that, it makes what you need to do easier. Because if you're working with a blunt axe, it makes you work very, very hard. So this aspect of life, the renewal aspect, is pretty much on you working on sharpening your saw at every particular time. An example is, say for example, your saw is maybe, your axe is at sharpest in the morning. When you wake up, you that's the best time to do like the difficult mental work, quadrant 2 activity work. There's a video I mentioned about quadrant 2 activities. These are activities that are they are important but not urgent. They're important to do because when you do them, they change your life dramatically. But because they don't have a deadline, we tend to ignore them. So those are the ones that we should be doing early in the morning, because they say that whatever you do in the morning sets the mood for the rest of the day. So what you need to, that's the best time. That's when I do a lot of my mental work, my spiritual work, on myself, and the soul work. Exercise in the morning a little bit, maybe later on during the day. But then during the day, your energy is up, it peaks, probably towards midday, and then right after midday, probably after lunch or something, it starts going downhill. So maybe even then your day might not be over, and there's still a lot being demanded from you. So what you need to find a way that is personalized to you, that you can kind of keep the peak at the peak, or if the peak's going down, you can tell, find a way to bring it back up. It could be a cup of coffee. A lot of people do that. This is something a lot of people know how to do, but sometimes maybe we might not do it on purposefully, or continue seeking knowledge and understanding on how to maybe better ways of doing it. Maybe if you drink coffee, maybe there's something else you can do that will be even better than coffee. So we always need to keep understanding and growing and learning and getting new information, upgrading information that will keep helping out every aspect of our lives to get better. Because the better your aspects are taken care of, the better they take care of you, the easier they can help you to take you to the destination that you need to go, as you fulfill your purposes and chase your dreams and try to work on your goals. So that's what you're really doing. It's like if you have a car and you start customizing the engine to make the engine work better. You put better tires that will probably have work better with your car. A lot of people do that. They might change the gears, the gear system, talking about and put a better gear, and that way they constantly keep improving the car, and it gives them better performance. So we're not like a car, we're a whole lot better than a car, and as we all know, life is about growth, and the creator lets you know that life is about growth, because there are things on you that grow without whether you like it or not. Like for example, your fingernails grow without you without your input. Your hair grows without your input. A child grows from a child into an adult without, of course their input is they eat. I guess you can say that's an input, but somehow your body does it for you on autopilot. So it's kind of like an indication. There's some things that will grow on autopilot without your intervention, except maybe you giving it the fuel to do the autopilot thing by itself. And there's some things that you have to consciously do, and mostly it's the other work of the spiritual, the soul, growth, mental growth, emotional growth, so those are the things that we need to work, and those are the things that I'm focusing on in the 7 aspects of life, the things that we have to consciously do to grow, that things that are not on autopilot. And because they're not on autopilot, we might tend to ignore them. But then once you understand how it works and keep seeking knowledge, keep seeking understanding, and turning that into wisdom, then you start growing in those things, and life becomes easier, despite the obstacles increasing, despite the obstacles still being present. You just become better. Say for example, if it's a wall, and it's in front of you, as you're trying to get to the other side, you might try to learn how to jump over the wall. As before, maybe you didn't know what to do, and once you start jumping over the wall, it starts becoming easier and easier to jump over the wall, because you've done it so many times. You get muscle memory, or you get your brain creates a path, as scientists say, in your neurons, and that way it becomes like a second nature. So find a way to keep your axe sharp at all times. You can tell when it's getting blunt, you're getting tired maybe, and there's still demand that is required, of you, of whatever that you're doing. Some people take naps. Some people will drink coffee or energy drinks. It's really up to you and what works best for you. We have been given, nature has provided a way for us to be able to do something like that. So that way, we are able to, it's a sign that the Creator says that, okay, if you don't have it in your body to help you to, remain at maximum level of output, I have put stuff out there in nature to help you to do that. So you can find, there's herbs, there's all kinds of things. Just constantly search and find what works best for you. Nap, whatever it is. So that's a middle of the day thing, and then when you go in the evening, there might be something else that you might do to continue to stay, to keep your axe always sharpened. So that could be a daily thing, and then when it comes to like a weekly thing, you could take one day off. Somebody who I'm listening to right now, who is super wise, is saying that it says that it's very important to at least one day off in a week, and do absolutely nothing. Just chill with family, with friends. Just turn off phones, go somewhere and just forget about whatever it is that you do during the week. And a lot of people might not think that's important, but it's good for you. It's recharging your batteries, just like your phone needs to recharge. Your phone needs to update, things like that. But the update really is more focused on the soul aspect, and I'll add that to the next video and I talk about the soul. So, but this is more like recharging. This is like more like plugging in your phone when the battery is dying, when the battery is going down. This is what this is. You need to find ways to recharge your batteries, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. Another wise person said that always put money aside for, so that after a certain amount of days, so like for example, I need to refresh my information, but every 3 months you take a week off if you can. You save up enough for you to take a week off after every 3 months. So that way, if you take a week off from work, whether you're getting paid for that week off or not, you've already saved up enough money for you to not get paid if that's the arrangement with you and your employee, or with you and your business. So that way you can recharge. There are many ways to recharge your batteries, so that can be one of them. Every 3 months, take a week off. Whether you go on vacation or not, you can just be at home for a whole week, and do it like that. And then every year, you put some money aside for another maybe month, stay home for 1 month. That's what he said, and I haven't really done that one yet, but I thought it was a great idea. And what he says is like, take during the day, take a lot of short breaks, instead of continuously just running through it. Say like after every 2 to 3 hours, take like a 10-minute break. And I don't mean like if you work in an office or you work somewhere where you cannot do that. You can take a bathroom break every 10 minutes. Go 10 minutes, breathe in, relax your eyes, whatever. You can just a 10-minute break before your regular breaks, so because it's important to like refresh your mind. Like it's like rebooting your phone, like when you restart your phone. You can find ways to just relax your mind, at minuscule moments of recharging yourself. It's important because that's sharpening your axe. That's you going out there to sharpen the axe, because when your axe is sharp, then what it is that you need to do, it becomes easy. It's easy for you to continue to chase your goals, to work on fulfilling your purposes and trying to achieve your dreams. Because if you don't, then if you have a dull axe, then that becomes a distraction again. It becomes a distraction. It slows you down. Sometimes it might even end up stopping you because you're burnt out, totally like just stop the chasing of your dreams, the fulfilling of your purpose, and trying to accomplish your goals. So sharpening your saw on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, stopping for like a mini break, 5-minute break, just taking a breather, taking a weekly break, taking a monthly break. You can decide to take a weekend off, or 2 days off after every weekend, and go somewhere. It doesn't have to cost money. There's places you can go locally that can help you to just recharge your batteries. And then every 6 months you can take a week off, save up for it, so that way whether you get paid for it or not, it won't affect your lifestyle. And then take a yearly break, whether you go on holiday or not, just recharge your batteries. So very important. Again, what are we trying to do? We're trying to minimize distractions. We're trying to keep the vehicle that is taking us to the destination that is we're gonna end up in when we work on fulfilling our purposes. We're trying to keep it at its best working condition, and the rest is very, very important. So we all understand that. We all understand sleeping. We'll get it, but we don't like. Let me not say we don't. A lot of people do, but there's some who don't like really take it like on a not seriously but purposefully, like doing it purposefully, like knowing that okay, every 2 hours I'm going to take a 10-minute break. I might go to the bathroom, not to use the bathroom, but just I can go there, wash my face, or just refresh, breathe in, take a short walk, if you're allowed to do that. If not, then you could be as creative as you want to take these breaks. If you're in an environment where it doesn't allow you to do that, you can be creative. You have a very powerful brain that can help you to come up with ideas and ways that you can do to continually sharpen your axe until you get to the time where it's bedtime, and that's the best. That's I guess that's the ultimate, the most ideal daily axe slash saw sharpening activity is going to sleep. So be creative, find ways to actually just remind yourself, hey, my axe is getting blunt, I need a break to go sharpen it. So there was these two men, a story that I heard from another wise person, and they were both cutting a tree, not the same tree, but each one had a tree that were cutting down, and one guy just kept going at it and just chopping and chopping and chopping. It's a common story, I'm sure you've heard of it before. And the other one just sat on a stool sharpening his axe. While this guy was busy chopping his tree, this other guy was just busy sharpening his axe. And every time he would go and chop the tree, the axe got blunt. He would go back, sit down, take his time, and sharpen the axe again. And eventually, and the other guy wasn't. He just kept chopping down. And eventually, despite the many breaks that this guy was taking, he ended up chopping his tree down faster than the guy who did not take breaks to sharpen his axe. And when you look at it, this is actually real. This is something that can actually this is not a fiction story. That's something that would actually happen, because you have fewer chops, you have fewer swings at the tree to chop it down. Well, this guy will have multiple. He might still win. He might even end up chopping the tree down faster than the guy sharpening the axe. But the guy sharpening the axe will use less effort, because he's doing it more purposefully. He's thinking about every aspect of chopping down a tree, and that's what it really means. Your axe is going down, like my axe right now is a little blunt. It's in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon, beautiful day. But I can feel my axe getting duller and duller. So after this video, I'm gonna do an activity that sharpens my axe again, because I'm still not done. My life is still demanding stuff from me even after this video. So be creative. Don't feel like you might be at a job area, and you might have a job that doesn't allow that. But if you're creative enough, you can find a way to sharpen the axe. And you might not have to, you might not have enough time to completely sharpen it to where it's super sharp. But at least if you have even enough, just enough to sharpen it, to remove a percentage of the bluntness of the axe. When I say sharpen the axe, I'm talking about your mind, because that's where your life comes from. Your mind, that's where your life is led from. So that's what you're sharpening, and sharpening it could be just by taking a break, taking a short walk. So if you sharpen it, then whatever you're doing becomes easier. It doesn't mean that the situation becomes easy. It just means your brain works better, and you're doing whatever you need to do with less effort. Just like they say that don't pray for life to be easier, pray that you become tougher. So when you sharpen your axe, you're becoming tougher. The situation is becoming tougher, and whatever challenges that you're facing look easier than they were before you sharpen the axe. Because your brain is asking for it. When you're feeling tired, it's your brain telling you, hey, either we need a break, we need to do something to revive me, do something to wake me back up, do something to make me, take me back to optimum level. So that's basically an intro to renewing your mind. Of course, I will be doing it into more details. There's many sub aspects, like I said, to every aspect of life. So with that, I am out, and keep on fulfilling your purposes. Keep on trying to achieve your goals and work on chasing your dreams. And I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.